The Chicago Bears have a solid tight end one in Kmet, who is entering the 5th season of his NFL career at only 26 years old. Along with this offseason, adding a strong veteran in Gerald Everett on a 2-year contract, the Bears got even more news at the tight end position, according to Jay Glazer, who spoke with Marcedes Lewis himself, and that the Chicago Bears are bringing him in and signing him to a 1-year contract to be a part of the offense again. The 19-year veteran has been a huge mentor for this tight end room over the last 2 seasons, and I'm excited that the Bears are bringing him back. Lewis, a 1-year Pro Bowler, has again been in the league for nearly 20 years, and he's been a huge asset to all 3 teams he's played for, including the Jaguars, the Packers, and now the Chicago Bears. I am excited about this season officially happening because of the fact that it really does help solidify our offense as a whole, and I'm excited to break it down for you guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Rohde, and as always, thank you for tuning in. Before I begin today's show, if you're happy about Ryan Poles re-signing Marcedes Lewis to a 1-year contract and coming back to the Chicago Bears, make sure to smash that like button on this video, along with commenting FGB, as Lewis once played for the Green Bay Packers, and he's ending his career on a much higher note, joining the Chicago Bears. Also, I will be announcing the winner of the DJ Moore autograph jersey giveaway from Twitter at the end of today's show, so make sure you tune in to find out if you're the winner. So the Bears bringing back Marcedes Lewis, a 6'6", 40-year-old, yes, as of May 19th, so happy belated birthday to Marcedes Lewis, has been a huge part of this league for a very long time and is coming back on a 1-year contract. It was 18 years old, fun fact, when Bears rookie wide receiver Rome Odunze was born. So this guy has been in the NFL for quite a long time and can tell some pretty good stories about how the game has changed, and also be a great mentor for these young guys in order to adapt and maybe pull out some old tricks. He has been a huge part of the league, especially from a blocking perspective, and truly showed the importance of what it is to have that third blocking tight end on your roster at all time, and he has been talented wherever he's gone. So let's chat about him a little bit more in detail. A lot of folks have been pushing for him to come back, including myself, because of the fact that he is 40 years old. He's probably in better shape than 99% of the population, and he's a very solid football player. The 6'6", 265-pound tight end is a big body tight end who covers a lot of ground and uses his brute force as a solid run and pass blocker, but also can rip it upfield himself if he has to. Clearly, being in the league for 19 years, he probably doesn't want to do that as much anymore, and he's probably just taking the paychecks to continue to put into a nice retirement fund. But at the end of the time, he still loves the game of football, and he's a one-time Pro Bowler, been on multiple playoff teams, and a former captain. So he does love the game about being a leader, a solid player, and even a better mentor. And I really think that Kmet's blocking improved this past season because of Marcedes Lewis' impact on the offense this past year. And so just to solidify everything about him, he's a big, fast, strong tight end and plays against guys who might be just as big and strong, but they're not as fast as him. That's what the difference is. A huge advantage for Lewis when on the field. And we all know Ryan Poles loves his athletic guys. So his stats this past season, but his overall career as well, I'm going to go over both, are not what they used to be, but his overall career is very impressive. This past year for the Chicago Bears, he played in every single game, all 17 of them, and he had 5 targets for 4 receptions, 29 yards, and a 7.3 yard per catch average, but with 1 receiving touchdown. I give that to him. I think, that's respectful. He was doing his job. He was brought in as a blocker, and that is exactly what he did for the Chicago Bears this past season. But his overall career, don't go sleeping on it. He's had quite an NFL career as a tight end. He's played in 268 games across 3 teams, along with 735 targets with 436 receptions, 5,113 receiving yards for 11.7 yard per catch average. So clearly a first down machine, and 40 receiving touchdowns. He hasn't been an impactful offensive weapon for the last couple of seasons in the NFL, but he knows what it takes in order to be that way. And again, I've said it a million times, his blocking is so important for the team, especially for DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert, and Rashawn Johnson, along with even Caleb Williams, just having that extra blocker to pick up on tough tight ends, defensive edges. So he can absolutely do that as well, which is huge for this team, especially a developing quarterback. Not only that, his overall career stats are super impressive. He's got a history. He knows what it takes to win. He knows what it takes to be a leader, and he can help grow the next generation of guys, especially the Bears Bears having one of the youngest rosters in the NFL. So after the signing of Marcedes Lewis, let's go into what our tight end room looks like right now. Starting off with Kmet, a 6'6", 260-pound tight end from Lake Barrington, Illinois, so a Chicago kid, only 25 years old, has been with the Bears for the last 4 seasons after being drafted in the second round out of Notre Dame. Continuously has progressed during that time, making him one of the better tight ends in the NFL over the last few seasons. He's had 2 solid mentors in his career during that time. Jimmy Graham, back during his rookie season, in my opinion, really helped him get to where he is from an offensive receiving standpoint of this day. And Graham was one of the better tight ends in the NFL over the last 20 years as well. So a good mentor to start off his career, and continually has progressed because of that. And then working with Lewis this past year really gave Kmet that next edge in order to go up in his blocking grade at least, which I saw a significant improvement from. And being that dual threat obviously helped him become one of the better stat guys from a tight end perspective in the NFL this past year. Kmet finished with 73 receptions for over 719 yards and 6 receiving touchdowns this past year. Not bad, and he's only gotten better over his career, as that was a career year from a receiving yard and reception perspective. Then you went out and got Gerald, Everett, a 6'3", 250-pound tight end who was last season with the Los Angeles Chargers, who turns 30 in a couple of days, so happy birthday to Mr. Everett himself, is someone who I am not only excited about for this Bears team, but many others are as well. The veteran is entering his 8th season in the NFL and has always been overlooked in my opinion. He's played for the Rams, the Chargers, and the Seahawks during his career, crossing paths with now offensive coordinator Shane Waldron twice, and that he loves to run a good tight end offense, which is huge for Gerald Everett, and we've already seen that in camp. He's a dynamic tight end that can pretty much do anything and more that you ask him for. A strong blocker, great hands, and great at keeping momentum going. I'm super excited that Ryan Poles went out and got this guy on a 2-year contract. I think he's gonna be a really huge compliment to this room for a while, and he's the number 2 in the last 4 seasons in tackles broken by a tight end. Just a dynamic guy who's quick and can make opportunities for himself, always fighting for first downs and always fighting for yards. Last season, he had 51 receptions with the Chargers for 411 yards and 3 receiving touchdowns. And those are the stats that you want out of your tight end too, because that's what some tight end ones don't even get in the NFL. So overall, very big that the Chicago Bears brought him in, and I think he's going to be a huge part of this team. So overall, Lewis brings a lot to the table and brings a lot to an already a lot of things brought to the table tight end room. I mean, absolutely massive, huge run blocker, great pass blocker. He made key blocks to allow for running back breakaways this past year for the Chicago Bears to get to the next level. And then we can use him on the receiving side as well. We didn't use him much, but we can definitely improve that in Shane Waldron's offense, because this guy can move the ball. He can still catch, he can still run. And honestly, he's just too big and too strong. He's got old man strength now, in my opinion, that allows him to be a really solid player for this team. And he's another solid mentor like Jimmy Graham was, and he's only going to be able to help this team get better as time goes on. Now, before I announce the winner of the DJ Moore giveaway from Twitter, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Freshie Organic Tequila Seltzer. 99 calories of the summer's best tasting organic tequila seltzer. It comes in 3 great flavors of lime, grapefruit, guava, and my personal favorite, blood orange habanero. You want to be able to hit this up now, because it's going to be a great tailgating drink as well this later this season. So go to the link in the description now to find Freshie at the Freshie Finder near you, and you will be able to really enjoy those summer days with a Freshie.